As the golden sun dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows across the endless desert, a group of tourists eagerly approached the grand entrance of the Pyramid of Khafra. The air was thick with excitement and the promise of ancient mysteries waiting to be unveiled. Among the group were Emily, a history enthusiast, Mark, her adventurous boyfriend, and their friends Rachel and Sam, who were more interested in the photo opportunities than the historical significance. Their guide, Hassan, a seasoned Egyptologist, led them through the narrow passageways, his flashlight cutting through the oppressive darkness. The walls were adorned with hieroglyphics and intricate carvings, telling tales of gods, kings, and the afterlife. As they ventured deeper into the pyramid, a sense of unease began to creep over the group. The air grew colder, and an eerie silence enveloped them, broken only by their footsteps and the occasional drip of water from the ancient stone ceiling.
Are you sure this is safe?
Rachel whispered, clutching Sam's arm. Hassan turned, his expression serious.
The pyramid has stood for thousands of years. It is as safe as any other monument. But we must respect the spirits of the pharaohs who rest here.
They reached a large chamber, the heart of the pyramid, where the walls were covered in scenes of the afterlife. At the center of the room lay an enormous stone sarcophagus, its lid slightly ajar. Hassan began to explain the significance of the burial rituals, but his voice was drowned out by a sudden, thunderous rumble. The ground shook violently, and a deafening roar echoed through the chamber as part of the pyramid collapsed, sealing the entrance behind them with tons of ancient stone. Panic ensued. The group scrambled for an exit, but it was too late. Dust filled the air, making it hard to breathe and see. As the dust settled, an oppressive silence took hold once more. They were trapped. Hassan tried to calm the group.
We need to stay together. There must be another way out. These pyramids are labyrinths. There are always secret passages.
Mark, holding Emily close, noticed a strange, ethereal glow emanating from the sarcophagus. Hassan, look! The lid of the sarcophagus began to move, seemingly of its own accord, and a cold wind swept through the chamber. From the darkness within, ghostly figures emerged, translucent and shimmering with an otherworldly light. The spirits of ancient pharaohs, their faces contorted with rage and sorrow, hovered above the sarcophagus.
You have disturbed our eternal rest.
A deep, echoing voice resonated through the chamber. It was the spirit of Pharaoh Khafra himself.
For this, you shall pay.
The tourists backed away, terror etched on their faces. Rachel clung to Sam while Emily and Mark stood frozen in place. Hassan stepped forward, trying to communicate with the spirits.
Great pharaohs, we mean no disrespect. We are but curious souls, seeking knowledge and understanding of your magnificent reign.
The spirits seemed to consider his words, but their anger did not abate.
You are intruders, and you shall share our torment.
The chamber grew colder, and the walls seemed to close in. The spirits swirled around the group, whispering ancient curses and filling their minds with visions of the past. They saw the pharaoh's grand funerals, their burial rites, and the betrayal that led to their eternal unrest. The spirits revealed that their deaths were not the peaceful slumber of honored kings, but the result of treachery and deceit. They had been murdered by those closest to them, and their souls were condemned to wander the pyramid for eternity. Desperate to escape, Hassan searched the walls for any sign of a hidden passage.
There must be a way out,
he cried, his voice echoing in the vast chamber. Emily, who had always been sensitive to the supernatural, felt a strange connection to the spirits. She stepped forward, her voice trembling but resolute.
Pharaoh Khafra, if we help you find peace, will you let us go?
The spirits paused, their ghostly forms flickering. Khafra's spirit loomed closer, his eyes filled with a mixture of hope and suspicion.
How can you, mere mortals, bring us peace?
Emily took a deep breath.
We can tell your story. We can reveal the truth to the world about the betrayal you suffered. Let your voices be heard through us.
The spirits whispered among themselves, their anger slowly giving way to a reluctant acceptance. Khafra nodded.
Very well. If you can promise to honor our memories and tell our story, we will show you the way out.
The spirits guided the group to a hidden passage, concealed behind a wall of hieroglyphics. The passage led them through narrow, winding corridors, deeper into the pyramid. The oppressive weight of the stone above seemed to lessen as they followed the spirit's lead. Finally, they reached a small, hidden chamber filled with ancient artifacts and inscriptions. The spirits pointed to a large stone slab with detailed carvings depicting the betrayal and the pharaoh's plea for justice. Hassan, with tears in his eyes, took photographs and made detailed notes, vowing to share the story with the world. As they prepared to leave, the spirits began to fade. Khafra's voice echoed through the chamber one last time.
Remember your promise, honor our memories, and we shall finally rest in peace.
With the spirit's guidance, the group found their way back to the main entrance, emerging into the cool night air. They were greeted by rescue teams and worried onlookers who had witnessed the collapse from outside. The tourists, shaken but determined, recounted their harrowing experience. The weeks that followed were a whirlwind of activity. Hassan and Emily worked tirelessly to compile their notes, photos, and recordings into a comprehensive narrative. The story of the betrayed pharaohs captivated the world, bringing a new understanding and reverence for the ancient kings who had once ruled Egypt. 1 week later, Emily and Mark sat in a cozy cafe, their laptops open in front of them. They had just finished the final draft of the article that would be published in a renowned historical journal. Emily looked up from her screen, her eyes shining with excitement.
I can't believe we're actually doing this. We're giving a voice to those who were silenced for thousands of years.
Mark squeezed her hand. It's amazing. And it's all because of you, Emily. You connected with them in a way none of us could. Emily smiled, though her eyes held a hint of sadness.
I just hope we've done enough to bring them peace.
1 month later, the article was published and it quickly gained worldwide attention. Historians and Egyptologists praised the meticulous research and compelling narrative. The story of the betrayed pharaohs was discussed in classrooms, museums, and news outlets across the globe. Hassan, now a celebrated figure in the field of Egyptology, was invited to speak at conferences and give lectures. He always began his presentations by honoring the spirits who had guided them out of the pyramid.
We must never forget the voices of the past. Their stories are a testament to the resilience of the human spirit.
Emily and Mark continued to explore ancient sites and uncover hidden histories, their adventures chronicled in a popular blog that inspired others to delve into the mysteries of the past. Rachel and Sam, though still more interested in the photo opportunities, gained a newfound respect for the ancient world and often joined Emily and Mark on their journeys. 1 year later, on the anniversary of their harrowing experience in the Pyramid of Khafra, the group returned to Egypt. This time they came not as tourists, but as honored guests of the Egyptian government. They were invited to participate in a ceremony dedicated to the memory of the pharaohs and the unveiling of a new exhibit at the Egyptian Museum in Cairo. The exhibit featured artifacts and inscriptions from the hidden chamber, along with a detailed account of the pharaohs' betrayal and their plea for justice. At the center of the exhibit was the large stone slab that had been their guide to the past. As they stood before the exhibit, Emily felt a chill run down her spine. She turned to see a faint, ethereal glow in the corner of the room. The spirits of the pharaohs watched over them, their faces no longer contorted with rage and sorrow, but serene and at peace. Pharaoh Khafra's voice echoed softly in her mind.
Thank you, Emily. You have honored your promise, and we are finally at rest.
Tears filled Emily's eyes as she whispered,
You're welcome, great Pharaoh. Rest in peace.
and so the spirits of the pharaohs found their eternal rest, their memories honored and their stories told. The Pyramid of Khafra stood as a testament to their reign and the enduring power of their legacy, no longer a place of torment, but a beacon of history and reverence.